As fans of the summer I Turn Pretty, the moment we have all been waiting for is finally here. Conrad actually confessed his love to Belly. And even though Belly rejected him for now, from what I understood through her thoughts during the episode, it looks very possible that Conrad and Belly will be back together again. We also have some very important details about how this could happen. So let's not waste any time and talk about what will go down in episode 8, and which details from episode 7 will lead to all the drama. First, of course, we need to talk about Belly's feelings. Throughout the episode, Conrad was once again there to help Belly just like he always has been. And we saw that Belly was seriously aware of this. On top of that, when she found out that it was Conrad who convinced Laurel to come to the wedding, her feelings for him became impossible to ignore. When she admitted to Taylor that when she was drunk, Conrad was always the one in her dreams, it was sweet in one way, but also really heartbreaking in another. After all these emotions piled up, what happened when Belly and Conrad ran into each other on the beach ended up being a total disaster for everyone. Honestly, when Conrad confessed his love, I expected Belly to lose control of her emotions and admit that she still loves Conrad too. But Belly held herself back, reminded herself that she was going to marry Jeremiah, and even though she broke down crying right after, she still told Conrad that there was nothing between them. I don't think Belly is going to walk away from this conversation unaffected. That is why things on her side are definitely going to get more complicated. So what about Conrad's side? I'm sure some of you are upset that Conrad held back all this time only to confess his feelings just days before the wedding. As a Conrad-Belly shipper myself, I also don't think it was the right move. But we need to understand why Conrad couldn't hold it in anymore. His closeness with Belly throughout the summer had a huge impact. Of course, they did almost all the wedding shopping together. But what really pushed Conrad to act was finding out that Jeremiah cheated on Belly. Conrad thought Belly would be miserable if she ever found out. And as always, he told her because he didn't want her to be unhappy or marry the wrong person. But when Belly said she still loves Jeremiah, Conrad was left so desperate that the only thing he could do was tell her he loves her. At this point, I think Conrad sees himself as the right person for Belly. He told her that he never cheated, that he always looked out for her, and he knows that Jeremiah never really cared about her. That is why I believe that even if Belly herself stands in the way, Conrad will once again try to stop her from marrying Jeremiah just so that she does not end up miserable. Now, let's also take a look at the complicated relationship between the brothers. In episode 6, we found out exactly why Jeremiah has always been jealous of Conrad. And in this episode, we learned that no matter what, that jealousy will never go away. When Jeremiah told Conrad that he and Belly were getting married and that Belly would always be with him from now on, it was like he was celebrating a victory over his brother. He was pressing exactly where it hurt Conrad. But Conrad, as always, just went along with everything to avoid conflict. Still, when he found out Jeremiah had cheated on Belly, I'm sure you felt it too, he almost beat him up. But when he saw how drunk Jeremiah was, he decided not to confront him. Now, will Conrad forgive Jeremiah for cheating on Belly? Or will Jeremiah forgive Conrad when he finds out that Conrad still loves Belly? I don't know, but the only thing I can imagine is that these two can never be real brothers again, and that some big confrontations are waiting for us. In a moment, I'll talk about the drama that will start in episode 8. But first, I quickly need to talk about Taylor. And while I do that, you can write your own theories in the comments. We all know that this season we're watching a brand new Taylor. And honestly, her vibe really reminds me of Conrad. Just like Conrad let Belly be with Jeremiah only so she could be happy and buried his love deep in his heart, Taylor is also accepting Steven being with Denise only so he can be happy while burying her love in her heart. This is both really sad and really admirable. And we also have to say that Steven notices this. Although Steven is currently having a wonderful time flirting with Denise, Taylor's sacrifices keep her alive in a corner of his heart. On top of that, Lucinda is also doing her best to bring Taylor and Steven back together. And this is only going to make things easier. Honestly, I think Steven will be happy no matter who he ends up with. So, the only thing I hope for in this love triangle is that no one leaves heartbroken regardless of who Steven chooses. Alright, now we come to the main part. What will happen in episode 8? First of all, I think Conrad will once again tell Belly that Jeremiah is not the right person for her and that he still loves her. And I think Belly, feeling regretful for what she said to him, will understand Conrad more this time and that the beautiful feelings she once had for Jeremiah will start to fade. Still, Belly will not want to leave Jeremiah halfway. So, even though she will not use harsh words this time, she will once again push Conrad away. After that, as we saw in the Season 3 trailer, Conrad will go straight to Taylor and open up to her about his feelings towards Belly. At first, Taylor will be upset that he came too late, but since Taylor has basically turned into a female Conrad right now, I don't think she will completely dismiss him. There is no one better to understand the situation Conrad is in right now. For this reason, Taylor will probably tell Conrad that Belly is also not completely over him. But will Conrad make another move toward Belly after that? Or will he just wait for Belly to come back to him? I don't know. We will just have to wait and see. Now, let's also talk about what might happen between Belly and Jeremiah. After all these confessions, Belly will definitely be completely confused and Jeremiah will notice something strange about her. As we saw in the Season 3 trailer, Jeremiah will first get suspicious of Conrad and will say that he noticed the way Conrad looks at Belly. I think Belly has never been good at pretending in moments like this, so she probably will not be able to deny it. Still, she will say that her feelings for Conrad are gone, that it doesn't matter that he loves her. But I don't think Jeremiah will settle for that because he has always seen his brother as a threat. And if Conrad is his rival, he probably believes he could lose. That is why I think in his anger, he will confront Conrad directly and ask, "Do you still love Belly?" But Conrad already felt regret after his confession to Belly in episode 7, so he will not want to risk fighting with his brother again. Most likely in this argument, Conrad will tell Jeremiah that his love doesn't matter, that Belly doesn't reciprocate his feelings, and that he's stepping aside. Jeremiah may not completely believe it, but for now, he will accept Conrad's words. But is that really where everything will end? I don't think so at all. For more drama, we will have to wait for the upcoming episodes. Now it's your turn. What do you expect to see in episode 8? Don't forget to write it in the comments. And meanwhile, you can check out this video to learn about the love drama that will explode in episode 4 of Blood of My Blood.